Maybe South Atlantic War had it
All right, so just a
even.
fair warning
No, I
that
mean
we
Harpoon 5 has it.
so just a
Oh, just in what were in the main
In,
rule book?
no, in America Navy. So
Oh, okay.
page
Uh,
121 of the PDF.
I don't have American Navy yet. I have
Hang
only.
on,
I
I'll
need
post
to
that.
buy. I need to buy rest of them. I didn't need them. I only bought aircraft for now.
They,
Okay, I've verified that Tom's voice is coming through, so we're good.
Fantastic.
We're live. All right, so all right,
I'm
cool.
finding the latest
I've
one. I'll be
just
right back.
verified that I just verified it too. All right,
Great.
all right. So we are live. We're gonna talk. Well, we're gonna fight through the
Actually, no, hang on.
the
Oh, sorry,
ARA
sorry,
San
sorry. My bad.
Luis versus HMS Splendid fight that we had in the Falkthru of recent history here. I can't find the original sim plot, so that's real fun. That's not going to be very good. Let me just try to find that one more time. I don't
We don't
remember
have that much to
killing
set up.
though, so I might just here. I'll tell you what. Let me just do a new scenario then with the same map.
Right. It's not that we have a lot of units.
And I can't remember. It was actually what was interesting. I think it was very late, very early in the morning. So I think it was almost like 10300. And then Falklands, where are you? Why am I not seeing it? Ah, no. Ah, here we go. Alright, so I don't think we're going to be doing too much plotting here, but just in case we do, where were we at?
Just we
Right
probably
about
will
here.
move toward each other at 5 knots, right? And
Yeah.
who roll first? Better. Oh right, I have South Atlantic War. I actually can check my. Uh, you're using the sheets from South Atlantic War, right?
Yes.
The
Yeah, I have them.
okay,
Here, I'll show you in a second.
great. So I can check that too because this one I have. Damn, I need to transfer some cash and buy rest of the new
So I think
source
what we had
books
it
for
about like
ships.
this, and then we'll move it here in a minute. And this isn't going to be too important because we're going to probably just break up a little bit here and have you do what I might have you do is I'm going to set up just a simple Google Doc for each of you to put your standing orders, okay? And then what we'll do is
Okay.
we'll just kind of walk through that.
Yeah, and here, yeah, we will talk about it because I have few questions.
I think we were closer than that. So you are 4243. I'm assuming you want to be Splendid. I don't know. Just don't want to make an assumption.
All right, we didn't choose. We choose sides.
Well, we don't. I mean, at least one side to plot out and describe. I mean, we're probably gonna.
No, but
I feel like we're gonna
I can
judge it.
remember if we decided who
Two, four,
has
three.
what command.
243. It's all right. Just hold on a second. I think 243. I think we. I can't remember the distance we were at. I'm just gonna call it 20 nautical. Oop, did that work? What happened there? But whatever. It doesn't matter. We're gonna replot it anyway here in a little bit. All right. So we're
Yeah, it's
starting
something like
roughly.
that.
It's roughly 20 nautical miles, and it's roughly. This is. We're going to very much generalize this that both of you have been within distance enough to get a spurious, contact. You might have had a detection. You have a rough idea and an individual detection at about. Let's go ahead and judge that. How far do you think that would possibly happen? Roughly about at max 10 miles from one another. for spur for like an individual detection. Let's just take a quick eyeball
Okay,
on that.
let's just check what detection we can have. If, let's say, we both move at 5 knots, because this probably would be standard creeping speed. I wouldn't go for 3 knots yet. I meaning the normal like cruise creeping speed, because at 3 knots we could go ultra quiet, but I don't think they would unless they had detection. So what would be the range?
We'll bring them into range basically.
Yeah, right. Let's say San Luis. Wait, we have Santa Fe or San Luis? I got lost.
It's San Luis.
San Luis.
Santa
Okay.
Fe had already been taken
So
out.
let's say San Luis.
Starting
Sonar.
depth. I'm gonna make them 50 for now. We'll adjust this. How many meters do you want to be down? If you're gonna be acting as Splendid
And
to start with.
here's a question: what was the so we can get it? Um, it actually depends if we have a layer.
We do
And
have a
what
shallow
was
layer.
and what was Splendid's basic orders? It was to look for the submarine or look for the surface group.
Honestly, it would have been to look for the surface group, but I would think that it would be defending itself from subsurface as
Then
well.
I would choose shallow, not periscope depth, but shallow, around 50. Well,
Yeah, I
50
put you.
meters, but in Harpoon you don't need to uh, for aircraft. You
What
need
I usually
to.
do is I assume the deepest of that depth. I go ahead and put 50. I mean you're
It
anywhere between.
doesn't matter, because in Harpoon you need to give precise altitude for aircraft, but for submarines you only give the band in which you are, because
Did
the
Miguel join?
depth change is tracked in depth bands, not in meters. So we don't really need to say exact depth we are in. We only
Javi,
need to say
Yeah.
Javi, do you want to take over the San Luis?
I
I don't think Miguel's
guess
here. I mean, you can just take it
I
over for
can.
now,
I can certainly do. I do not mind at all.
or at least discuss
okay.
to it. Let's say.
Take it.
All right.
You
So,
can take San Luis. I'm
um,
looking for. And what? Where
so let's
is?
take a look at San Luis.
I have Swift. No, which one?
Hmm?
What was the name of the British submarine I have?
HMS
Then
Splendid.
Splendid. Okay,
And that
it's
is right here.
okay. So it's Swiftsure class,
Yes, it's
correct?
Swifter class. Yeah.
Okay. We don't have towed arrays. Actually, it's good. I don't know. Want to
I
go
don't
through
know if
these
they do
rules?
as well. Hold on, let's keep this up. I don't want to have to switch between them all the time.
No, they
No,
don't
they
have. They
don't
only
either.
have a
All right, so
hull.
let's do a quick analysis of that then. I wish this was a little easier. Excuse the horrible. Let's put these side by side then.
Does the sun? Oh, actually, you've got it there.
I would not compare them like that. I would say what initial, because this won't help you a lot. Just the fact that you have the basic 50% distance for them. We also need to take into account the effects, especially with new 5th edition rules. We need to take into account the effect of layer and different frequencies.
Well, right, but I'm just saying, let's just take a quick general look at the comparisons of their passive detections, right? From what I can tell, generally speaking, at a 50% range, the 2001 and 2007 sonars have a slightly better potential,
Yes.
right?
Does the San Luis have ES measures? Oh yeah, yes, in a second. Okay, because if I was the San Luis, I would probably be creeping at 3 knots, with my ESM periscope out.
Okay, hold on.
Because I'm trying to find the carrier
So you're
group.
at periscope depth, then I'll
Yeah,
just put it at 25 to indicate
yeah,
that.
not
And
snorkeling because that's not snorkeling. Sorry, which one is it? Like not running the diesel engine, so using the air independent
electric.
propulsion. Yeah, yeah,
Electric.
yeah, using the electric propulsion. But at periscope, because the logic is, if I'm trying to find the UK carrier, and they're bound to have some kind of early warning, something flying around. So if I can detect that radar first, then I should be able to detect that radar before they can spot me. Like sort of, they're either the radar can spot my periscope or they can see the periscope physically. So then that would be my logic. And then once I find it, I can kind of come down under and head that way.
Yeah. Hmm.
So
Uh,
that would be my logic essentially.
if I'm looking for the, yeah, I didn't play that much, but if I'm looking for the surface group, depending, but because it depends on the mission I have, because I have a mission to locate the surface group, not to, and not to be like information with my surface group,
Well,
right? I am independent of my
you're
surface group.
independent. You're in a sector, but at this point,
Then
you
if I
are
am in sector, I would probably also creep at three.
generally, generally this region here, right?
Right. I
And
probably
you haven't,
would.
as far as I know, at this point, we hadn't simulated that Splendid had come up to communicate with anybody. So,
Right, but I would be above layer
mhm,
to look for the surface ships, but not at the periscope depth. I probably would
I
not
think
extend my antennas.
I think you're right.
Just depend on my sonar, and probably if I am in sector, I probably would creep at 3 knots also. If I am
Okay.
not in the sector or close to sector, I would move at 5 knots. But if I'm already in the sector where I think the ships will be. Although if it is surface group, it depends how much area I want to cover. Because if it would be surface group, I would move at 5 knots. I still would be.
I don't think
I
you
would
know
move.
at this
I
point.
would move. I would move faster, but won't be loud enough to be located by surface ships
Okay.
probably. But yeah, if I am close, if I don't need to cover a lot of ground, I would move as quietly as I can.
Okay, let me set up. Trying to think how about this? How about you both independently message me your just your standing orders um,
Mhm.
as far as the pattern you would use, right?
Okay,
So
where on you made us ships
no,
on the
I
drive?
think that's. I mean, I can do that if you prefer. Would you
Not
prefer
really.
that?
Yeah, I mean it's irrelevant. So just wrote to you on Discord,
Yeah,
just
that
private
probably is
message
just
you.
as good, especially just being two people. Yeah, that'll be our pseudo dummy, pseudo double blinding.
Just
Right.
to reiterate, in this particular situation, where do we think the like did the Argentinians know? I don't remember. The Argentinians know more or less where the British fleet was.
They definitely did. Yes,
Okay,
and honestly, San Luis was attacking them, right?
okay,
But in our walkthrough, we had changed that. In that San Luis, San Luis was basically trying to play interception against Splendid and any other subs operating in this area. But basically,
yeah.
San Luis was tasked as a task unit to interfere against the British submarines. So I'm glad Tom brought that up because Splendid's task was, of course, to cover the sector, but they were primarily looking for surface groups at the time. Of course, they were aware of San Luis being in the area,
Hmm.
or at least active. right, in the area. So I would,
Because depending on that is my movement pattern
but
is
yes,
largely
exactly.
dependent
So,
on.
I wish. Let me think about how to do this. I wish I can independently have y'all trace out a pattern. I'm trying to think about how to do that properly. I could.
My will be very simple.
Okay.
So yeah, depending on the.
If you feel like you can describe it in text, message me that.
Yeah, I think I
If
will.
you feel like you might need me to send you a picture of this and then you draw it
Nah,
out, that's fine too. I think that would be pretty easy in Paint. Would you like a picture of this, Avi?
No, I've got it. I'm trying to draw in. I'm gonna make like the crudest paint sketch
Yeah,
you've ever seen and send you
that's
that.
fine. That's exactly how I would have
Uh,
expected us to do it. So take your time a little bit. Take a nice breather here, and because and again, what you would want to describe, and you might want to maybe like if you're going to describe a certain point where you're going to do something different, maybe just put a really rough A or B. You know what I'm saying? Like if you draw a pattern, and then if you want to do something very specific at a certain point in that
yeah.
pattern, I would put a letter, and then and then you can just in text describe what you're doing specifically at that thing, and then what we'll do is we'll just bring the information together, and then we'll all judge what happens, right?
I
This is
will.
about as good as it gets for a real time double blind. This actually tests whether or not I could actually do this on a tabletop, which I still haven't convinced myself I can.
Probably that might be.
It's just me. It's me. I know a lot of people can probably keep a lot of this in their head, but
Okay, I keep my patterns simple. As I say, assuming I am already at the station.
you're in station. The
Although
the
then,
assumption we're
for instance,
making the assumption you're making is that I mean this you know based on your pattern it's going to overlap differently anyway, but you kind of know somebody's in the area. Let's just keep it like that.
yeah, because
You've had
I
some form
work.
of spurious detection that there is a subsurface unit in the area. You don't necessarily know this exact angle, and we won't depict it as such.
Yeah, so my pattern will be. I send it to you. It's
Okay.
very simple. It's I don't know if it's the best. But yeah,
and
it
it's
also would
probably
depend. It would also depend on the general axis of from where I suppose the group surface group is moving. But
Again, I don't think you haven't, at least in how we had talked it through, right?
right,
We didn't necessarily identify a pattern of doing radio mast at certain intervals or anything to that degree. So you really are kind of flying blind a little bit. You know that they're active. You know that they're in an aggressive stance. You don't necessarily know. And let's take that image up again.
do I know the how do I say it, the
Composition.
direction from which they should move? Because yeah, I will edit my pattern a
You
little.
would know potentially that DeMaio was coming in this area. You just you know that all three task groups are active. You do not know that they have combined. You would not
mhm.
necessarily know that. That was one of the questions that had come up in the Falkthru as to how much intelligence would the British have had of those larger changes and movements, right? And we can maybe discuss that towards the end.
Exactly.
But because that was the really only question mark I had is we had very good thoughts about how this was going to play out, right? And
Hmm.
each of those task groups were very much identified as leaving their ports accordingly. But I need to go back and look. I always do that in Paint. I need to go back and look at where Belgrano was stationed originally. I can't remember if it was stationed at Rio Grande or not. And Rio Grande
Uh,
was
Here, I sent you the thing.
Okay, so I just want to make sure everybody's sent me it and our hands off before I go look at your stuff.
If tell me if it's too it's bad, but tell me if it's too bad, and I'll try to make something a little bit better.
Well, hold on. Okay, so Tom, you've written out what you.
Yeah, I edited it
Okay.
a little because
So why don't we?
I reckon.
At this point, you want to just take the blinders off or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm happy to do it. I'm me personally. I'm just gonna use the same. I'm just gonna go in what I've told you until I get some kind of contact. So
okay. Interesting.
look at that. Look
Very
at
nice.
Hold on, I gotta save this for posterity. Hobbies, brilliant plan. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. All right, sorry. It's better.
It is.
Okay, interesting.
I just move at the course for 35 for 1 hour, then turn 180 to 235, then 1 hour on that course, and just
Okay, let me just
the racetrack.
You're doing.
the exact.
You're basically doing exactly what I'm doing. Like literally.
Basically, yes.
All right, hold on. Let's just.
Very close.
You know what? I'm gonna put
Search
these in here.
The one thing I wrote that turn to that they move 1 hour for after the turn, because turn of 180 degrees takes, at the speed of 3 knots, I believe it takes 4 turns, so 12 minutes.
Yeah, you're gonna have to repeat that. Ooh, that didn't work.
Does the San Miguel have a towed array? I forgot.
No, no one
Nobody has towed
neither
array.
does.
You mean the San Luis?
That is.
By the way.
Yeah. What is the San Miguel?
I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah. San Luis.
Yeah, why is that doing that? It doesn't like. Hold on a second. It just doesn't like me dropping it in there because I then tried it interprets it as needing to open it. Oh, great. Oh, that's not right. Alright, let me try that again. See how we can depict this, then we might have to just talk through it. Right now we are, and we're doing 3-minute increments. What was your initial heading, Javi? We're gonna go. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. You all had an exact opposite pattern, right? We're no, almost identical. Right? So then you're doing it, but how long were you doing this? These are 20
nautical miles.
Oh, wow.
Me personally, I would do it until I get some kind of contact.
But each of these.
Or...
Okay, just so I'm reading this right. Each of these legs is 20 nautical?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay,
So
I start.
Please, let's see what we're doing.
So we have sea state 5, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and no shipping, and no rain.
And you, though, Tom, you were doing a straight 45.
Straight at 45,
like
straight
that,
at 3 knots.
Right.
We
so
both do 3 knots from what
right. So
I
then,
remember.
how long had you stated you were going to do that?
1 hour.
He's doing this until he's about here. I'm going to make a screenshot of that.
Okay, I'm doing this for 1 hour, so 3 miles, 3 nautical miles, right? Because I'm at 3 knots, so I will move 3 nautical miles forward.
Okay, so this is gonna.
Wait, you're right. It is 3 knots. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you all did some math and I didn't hear you at all.
I don't know. It's fine.
No, I'm doing this for
All
1
right, so
hour.
just I'm gonna
so
keep
I will
going. How
move
about this?
3.
I'm gonna keep going, and you tell me when to stop, based on what you
Okay.
had planned. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So 3 minutes.
Yep, I'm
3.
moving.
How many?
Oh, what speed did you set? Because I think you set my speed at 5, and I said it will be 3.
All right, let's just bluff that a little bit. Is that okay? You
Right.
good? Everybody good?
Okay,
All
it
right,
can
yeah.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Wait, how much time? We started
here.
on 03.
Mm-hmm.
9.
We're
Okay.
9 minutes in.
Okay.
This is gonna take a while.
Yep.
But shouldn't we
Make
calculate,
intermediate turns.
shouldn't we calculate the 10% chance detection first?
Yeah, I'm at it.
Well, hold on.
Somewhat.
Let's go. Let's talk about that. You're at 21.5 nautical miles then at this point.
Exactly. So let me see. San Luis is very quiet signature. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're so.
Okay, so we'll do it from Splendid.
That's not good. I'm doing it from my point of view
Okay,
first.
so first let's keep that here. Splendid.
So you are very quiet. So -3 for target signature. You are going ultra quiet diesel, correct?
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
Can you go back down that?
Sure.
What's the modifier
So
for
first, let's calculate the environmental effect because this won't change. So we have basically -2 for C state 5.
But let me go make sure. Let me make sure that that's accurate. Sorry.
Right, I'm looking at my cheat sheet, so I believe it's okay. You can recheck, of course.
I just want to see what I had put originally. Yes, C state 5.
C state 5. So we have -2 for C state, and that's all the modifier, the basic. All
right.
Shallow water, I don't know yet because wait, let me check what kind of sonar do I have. Low frequency to medium frequency.
Yeah.
So, and here is my question. I forgot to ask Larry, and I need to ask Larry because we have shallow water gives -3 for low frequency and -2 for medium frequency. So, I guess we take the best modifier.
Yeah, I think so.
If we have.
If the sonar is LF to MF, then that sonar operates in both the low frequency and the medium.
So I would assume that you would take the best, right?
Right, so -2 for this.
Okay.
Then. And now, relative speed modifier. You are at 3
noise
and
signature.
sorry, target, because I already wrote it. Target noise signature is very quiet, so -3.
Okay. Signature modifiers, which are here.
Signature modifier, it's modified by -2.
Conventional sub -2. Very good there.
Yes, conventional sub at 3
relative
knots, so
speed
-2.
modifier here.
So from what I see, it's 0 because we both move below 8. So it's 0.
Okay, layer
and
mods.
now layer modifier. We are at the same.
The
layer is shallow, and we are at the same.
I think it's
-5. Wait. I'm confused a little. No, sorry, the shallow. Oh, okay, so shallow layer. Shallow layer is so shallow that if I move at shallow depth, then.
Hold on, you're both above.
Okay,
you're both
sorry.
below the layer, right here, right? You're both. Hold on, he's periscope.
His periscope,
and I thought
periscope?
Actually, that's my question.
No, but then I would be also at periscope because I thought the shallow layer is between shallow and intermediate depth.
Okay.
Actually,
so you're here or you're here?
No, I'm at surface.
Okay, so you're above. You're both above.
Sorry, where's the layer again? Is it between periscope and shallow, or between shallow and intermediate?
Between
Well,
periscope
the
and
way I
shallow,
described
from
it
what I
was
see. But
shallow. So does that mean it automatically is between there and there?
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
The scenario has the layer as being shallow. So
Okay,
does
but
that
no,
make it?
it can't be shallow. It can either be between periscope and shallow, or between shallow and intermediate.
yes, but it is
It's
called shallow.
Yeah, that's the
Then
problem. The problem is I'm just
because they
looking at his
create
image.
the fifth layer, the fifth edition divides layer
Well,
into.
let's go
There are
look at
three
it.
types of.
Let's go look at it. Right? Where is
There
that
is the
described?
table for it later in sonar section. There is a table
All
where
right,
it
let's
is
just slow
described
the
better.
roll and take a look. Because honestly, I need to be able to look back at it and do this again at some point.
But here's a question. Another
So the
question I
question
have
is,
to learn.
sorry, in this scenario, then, if we're at shallow depth, are we above or below?
Below, I believe.
That's what
Because
I
if you
don't
look,
know the answer to.
yeah, I'm not sure about that either. Because
You
I
know,
thought the shallow layer.
I
is
thought I had it in
between-
my head, but I don't. All right, so let's go look at it.
Sorry, let me turn that off.
Yeah, so if you look at the depth, layer depth, and layer.
It's 20 It's 25 meters. It's right here. It's within that layer. You see that
Right.
when it's shallow.
When it's shallow, it's very shallow. It's
25.
basically
very shallow.
Okay. So you need to be
So it's
okay, but
it's
Mhm.
visually appropriate here, at least according to what they're saying, and then your
yes,
chart
that
matches
is,
that.
yeah, because I copied it exactly.
Right.
Okay, so the layer is between
Between the
surface
surface and
or
shallow.
periscope depth and shallow. But now my question, because from what I see and what you look at the table, if you look at the table, I copied it below. Sonars affected. The only sonars affected by that are high frequency and medium frequency. So again, if I have low frequency, medium frequency sonar, do I even get layer modifiers? If it
Right
is shallow
here,
layer?
you're right here. You do.
Yes, because you're using the medium frequency component is getting a boost.
Right.
Right.
So you're getting the medium frequency boost. Essentially,
but shallow layer doesn't give me any boost.
So
Shallow
VL,
layer
I mean,
is only
to me, the way I originally interpreted it was pretty much the only one that gets any significant amount of difference is the VLF, right? I mean, everything else is just according to the chart. Everything else is according to the chart as is. You have it perfectly here. Everything bold is for all of those. Anything.
Yeah, but basically the moderate layer, the deep layer modifies every according to the layer table.
Okay.
Deep layer modifies all sonar frequencies.
Here.
The moderate, yes, but look to the right of this. You have layer shallow and sonars affected. Yeah, because this is what confuses me, because you have this note that very low frequency sonar.
I think VLF is not affected by the layer at all, is what it's basically saying.
Yes, but if you look at the right,
if it's on the same.
But look at the table to the right of that, where there is layer depth. No, you are in the good
Right, I'm just
spot.
trying to highlight that. Okay, so then here.
Because then here you have shallow layer and sonars affected are only medium frequency and high frequency, so rest of the sonars ignore it.
Yes.
Yes. So if I have low frequency to medium frequency,
no, because it can be positive is the issue.
It can be positive, but shallow. But if you okay, positive, yes. But now if you look at the shallow layer, there are no positive modifiers for shallow layer anywhere. Shallow layer only affects you negatively, if ever.
Right here, but it does have a positive. Well, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Shallow layer does not. Shallow layer does not. Others, yes, but not this one.
So it looks like let me see if I can say what it is. So if the layer is again, in this case,
I am at surface periscope depth.
Yeah, but that's not what you said before.
Yeah. Okay. So let me say I would be probably at shallow. Okay. Let's say I am at shallow because it wouldn't affect me either way, right?
Okay.
Because
well,
if
let's
I'm
just
looking...
talk about it both ways then, right? Okay. So the way I look at this.
No. Okay. No. I get it. Sorry. Go on. I think I get it.
So San Luis is currently here, and
Alright.
my interpretation is it's above the
Yes,
layer.
it is.
So it's
Right.
Yes.
here.
And now you look where the contact is.
Okay, hold on.
So if I am at shallow, then he gets -5, but only if the layer affects the sonars.
Correct. So
We
he's
interpret
not
it
affected.
like that.
Yes.
He's
So he's
not.
not.
Wait, you have what? Because I'm looking at what San Luis has.
Hold on, let's go
Okay,
look at
so
the,
right, because you have also low frequency to medium frequency. Okay.
Yeah.
right.
Your passive localization sonar might
Right.
have a problem.
This one right here would get it, right?
No, because
Right.
that's low frequency. So the passive one is low frequency to medium frequency. So with a shallow layer, I'm never getting any.
Right.
bonus.
I was talking about this Dux 2 passive localization, but I don't know what
I'm sorry,
is
what are you
actually.
referring to?
There is a Dux 2 sonar on San Luis, which
Okay,
is only
this
medium
one.
frequency, but it is some localization sonar that
I don't even know
actually
what that might.
What's lock?
Luck, I believe, is localization. I need to check.
I
It's
would think
if you
that's what
get
that is.
me. This is the fire control sonar that gives you
A solution.
bonus to firing solution if you get target on it.
Oh.
Is that
Okay.
is
And
that
it,
even
it
depictable?
should be.
Is that even depictable in Harpoon 5?
Yeah, it's depictable more actually because you have all this.
Yeah, I mean, but is it even written? I mean, I believe
It
you.
modifier in table. If you have contact on this sonar, you get some
Okay,
modifier for the fire
let's.
control solution role for the TMA solution.
Okay, we'll look at
But
that
it's
chart.
not here.
We'll look at that chart.
We'll
I'm sure
get
it's mentioned as a footnote there. Maybe.
The only thing I'm confused here because H is hull sonar, I believe, the normal regular forward sonar, but lock is I believe this should be flank array. I'm not sure.
Right.
That's the only problem I have.
Yeah, there's more granularity now. It's basically the bottom line, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's just step back. San Luis is here.
All right.
You are here.
Guys, you're gonna have to give me a hot second because I've got someone at the door. Yep. I will be back in 5 minutes, hopefully.
Yep, that's fine.
Sure.
All right, let's think about this though. Contact depth surface. You are here.
Yes, but basically the layer, we can ignore the layer modifier for us because both of us has low frequency sonar.
Right,
so we can get layer modifier will always be 0 at least for our detection sonars because both of them are low frequency to medium frequency.
At least with where the layer is.
At least with shallow layer, right? Because if San Luis would like to get this localization sonars detection, that it will impair it. It won't impair me.
Is it LMF? Is that right?
No.
They both have. Is that right? LMF. Oh.
LF-MF. Because it is low frequency LF-MF.
Okay, just wanted to.
Yes, exactly. Write that.
All right, so at least we had that conversation. And at least now we understand that modifier.
I have
so really, let's step back just even one more time. Is the fact that because it's a layer, you should pretty much just look here. Okay, so again, a first-time player, right?
I need to ask this because I got confused by this notation of VLF sonar that
this one.
It's only affected by deep layers.
Right. That's what I.
Yes.
If I just look at this, so that's what I want to.
But lots of other stuff is affected by it. And not affected by others, so I got really confused.
So again, let's talk to the first-time player, right? The first-time player should just look here first. Because,
yes, exactly.
So I just
you know what? The part for me, if it's how we talk about, okay, no problem. If we talk about it like here, the notation to the left should have deleted the passive VLF capable sonars are immune to the effects of shallow and moderate layers. This should be deleted, in my opinion, and just the table should be left.
Yeah, I totally agree.
If of course it's working how we speak about it. The
Come on,
part
let's
you
talk
just
about this one. What about
the
this?
first sentence should be removed
Why should the first part be deleted?
because it threw me. Take the one with the strike through. You can take there is option to.
I just want to. Okay.
Okay. That
So
is not because this threw me. I will tell you what this did to me. Because there is the notion passive VLF capable sonars are immune to the effects of shallow and moderate layers. Yes, but to the shallow layer, but apparently the LMF sonars are also immune to the effects of shallow layer.
Right. So they should just remove that because it's already depicted here. Is basically.
Yeah. So I was thinking, is this sonar affected but in different way, or is it not affected and they just forgot to mention it there, or what? Because
I think it was somebody who had it in their head and they put it down here, but then when they did this chart, and they might have even
because for a moment before I looked at this chart, I thought actually that only VLF capable sonars are unaffected by these two layers, and the rest of the sonars
so
are.
I would just ignore. I would look at this. That's my bottom
line.
Oh
no, wait! You know what? I need to actually check one thing because maybe I just got. But no, this. Then you know what? It might be affected. You know what this might be because this table has no explanation what it is. Right? It's not.
The thing is, okay. So actually, it shouldn't really be like that. I think it should be on where it says deep layer sonars affected. I don't know. It's so very low frequency works different though.
Okay,
very low frequency has its own modifiers for deep layer, and it's got its own modifiers when on either side of the layer.
Well, what they should have done is then said for VLF. In other words, they should have just modified this sentence to say for VLF in deep layers reduce. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have combined. They could have just kept it simple by saying for VLF in using and.
Or just at the very top of that paragraph, put a little thing that says VLF sonars are a little bit different.
and then just have that caveat. Yeah, you should have just Actually, I think that's what they tried.
40 players reduce the negative cross-layer modifier to minus par, and that's.
Let's again step back to the situation. We're doing this from Splendid to San Luis. So we're actually supposed to be using this because you are below the layer. Okay, let me just talk it all the way through.
Is he below the layer?
Yeah, he is.
Because I messed up. But no, it's actually if I have medium frequency sonar, then yeah, I would be at shallow below layer because why not?
Well, don't even worry about
that. It's not affecting my operation.
But here's the thing: I don't want to say whether it's affected or not until I look here. So this is where I'm like, if I'm a player.
Right.
I'm going to look here, and then I'm going to check here to make sure that I'm still affected. All right, so let's just talk it through.
Right.
So HMS Splendid is below the layer, at least according to how you originally said.
So I am using this.
So this is what you would use.
Right.
If you are affected. So what I would do in my overtly having to be logical manner, because otherwise it's going to make me insane. Is if you were affected, we would use this modifier.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
But I look here, and this tells me if it's actual or not, and that's it.
Yeah.
For my brain, I have to keep it like that. So let's not get into all this yet. Okay. So normally, if for some reason you only had MF or HF, you would have had that modifier. Okay, so then let's flip the script. Let's flip the script now. So for Let me make another. Darn it. Make another row here. Sorry about that. But so then this is going to be San Luis.
But this is kind of
Splendid.
no,
Okay, so let's walk through it very slowly, and then we'll, as soon as we do this slowly, like 2 or 3 times, then we should be able to just modify it. All right. So again, this is for my brain. For my brain.
I'm looking at the. Okay, let's go. Yeah.
Okay, so C state again, -2. Shallow water. How would that affect? Let's just verify that for him, it's the same thing. Let's go back to the cheat sheet. Let's go back to this one right here. What does San Luis have? They have MF or LF. So they're in the same situation, right? I just want to verify, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're in the same situation. In which case we're going to use the better of the two, correct? I just want to kind of walk through it so people actually see what we're doing. All right, so then this is still, again, it will always be -2. Just want to verify it. So the target noise, what is the noise of HMS Splendid? That would be here.
It's very, very quiet.
It is quiet, actually.
Oh, it's not very quiet. It's just quiet. Okay, not bad.
Okay, you know what? I'm only quiet, but I am at 3. I am moving at 3. I am quiet,
yes,
so 0.
Okay, so 0. Let's walk through that. Hold on, just hold on.
And
so
I will say you something in a minute when you.
So the signature modifier is -1 then, because of your nuclear sub ultra quiet. Does that everybody agrees with that? Relative speed modifier, I think, is still 0 for both of you because you're both
exactly the same because
Okay, layer mods is where we were having that discussion. So let's
Yeah, I can tell you already that I believe you are doing it correctly because I'm looking at the example right now. There is example on page 513 of the rules where project when you have situation where there is moderate layer, okay, and the ships are the Soviet project 671 RTM. Victor 3 is at intermediate. The page 5-14.
Okay, hold on.
Example.
This one right here.
Oh, this example, and you have the situation where Victor 3 is at intermediate 1. The sturgeon is also at intermediate 1. And if you see below the spherical array, LMF, MF, spherical array sonar, layer modifier -2. And if you look at the table, the moderate layer is modifying MF and LMF sonars. And below that, you have conformal array, LF, and its layer mod is 0. And LF is not affected by moderate layer. So actually -0, so another typo to.
And then let's look at this one, VLF to LF. Is that also...
Wait, hang on. How is that a typo if it's a moderate layer?
No, I'm talking about the typo of -0, not 0. I love sending them to Larry. He loves when I find some. I love finding such nuggets for him and
here's how it describes to him
because he hates them more than I, which is something.
Between shallow and intermediate or moderate. So, okay, and the way that they just described it textually matches too, as far as the line. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that everything lined up.
Let's make sure. But basically, it's VLF. So conformal if it's only LF and not VLF, and it's not affected in the conformal is not the towed array LF. In any way.
Let's just take a look at that again.
So it's not affected. So we are. So
one of the first things again. Let's step back. One of the things, like as you're checking this modifier right here, is you just look here and you see, hey, I'm shallow. Is my sonar affected? No. Done. Right.
0. Done. Right.
Done. Right.
And you always get best modifier you can, in my opinion.
Okay. Now let's take a look. Cavitation
If you
speeds,
have
we're not, right? And now,
nope.
okay, so let's look right here. Quiet.
No, that's
No, we're all.
no. We are not cavitating in
Now,
any
if
way.
you
Not
were,
not.
so let's talk about both of those. If you were neither,
Okay.
I think you're quiet, and then the San Luis is very quiet. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes. And so both of you are right here. These two rows. So you wouldn't
Yep.
make noise, or you wouldn't have a cavitation speed modifier unless you were going 16 knots for a quiet.
I would cavitate if I'm moving. No, I would cavitate at shallow. At shallow, I would cavitate between 16 and 20
Right.
knots.
And he would, in the San Luis, would cavitate at 21 knots in shallow.
At shallow.
So it's
Right.
a pretty
If you
significant
go-
difference. He could go pretty quick without having a cavitation modifier.
Right.
But then does that going quick? That's really it. So really, creeping is great. Creeping is great because it gives you these negative signature
Right.
modifiers. But otherwise, you're not going to get a positive one unless you went pretty quick. Both of you, really, right?
Right.
So this is obviously great to have these negatives, but especially for the Splendid, you know what I mean? That's a -1, right? In other words, you could go pretty quick. You could go pretty quick and only have a difference.
The problem with going quick is the relative speed modifier.
Okay, let's look at that.
Yes, exactly.
This is
That's
where
true.
people need to make.
Let's say because even if you don't cavitate.
Even if you don't cavitate, you are being noisier essentially.
Right.
So, for example, if I was moving at say 20, how fast can I go before going very quiet?
Can you move what actually? What's your top speed?
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this from a physics.
11, 22 knots.
Let me ask you this
from.
So let's say I'm going at 20 knots. I'm not cavitating, but with the Swiftsure is creeping. So actually, I would have a -3 to detect it.
Right. And is that because you're making your own noise, right?
Exactly.
Like, that's what I wanted to show everybody else.
Yeah.
Is that
I'm drowning out.
You're drowning out your ability, your capability, and this is just making more noise, really.
And my situation would be if he moves 20, I would have +3 to detect. If I'm creeping and he's sorry.
If you're creeping and he's going
20,
you'd get plus.
Yeah. So suddenly I'm getting -3, he's getting +2.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
then like not only it's easier for him to detect and harder for me to see, but it's making it a lot easier. That's a difference of 5 in terms of who's gonna get the first detection.
All right. So I think in both cases you're still, at least at this point, 0 for this, right?
Right.
We're not doing an active sonar transmission. So then we got to look at. So now we're going to have a true comparison.
One thing, because active sonar transmission is not giving you plus. It's not connected to the. At least how I understand it, it's not connected to the hub or whatever I will call this modifier. It's just you are just making a detection of sonar transition at +8.
Right, you're increasing the noise rating, so that actually just affects.
But no, you don't increase the rating of your sub. You just make a detection at +8. You just take.
Maybe that might need to. Are you sure?
Yeah, I maybe need to rephrase it.
I think looking at the rulebook, I think
that affects this.
If you know, it affects whether you're loud, noisy, quiet, very quiet, or extremely quiet.
That's what I was just pointing at.
So you replace whichever one of those it is for +8.
You do a +8 instead of that. Yeah, that's how I interpreted it.
No, I actually interpreted it differently, and let me see. Maybe I phrase it a little.
See, I don't understand it because I mean, you're gaining.
Let me find you the rule, because I will tell you what active sonar. I'm reading from the rule book right now. Active sonar transmissions are very noisy by their nature, putting a lot of acoustic energy into water. Yada yada yada. Yes, of course. Active active sonars are considerably noisier than loud targets. They have a noise rating of +8 and are detectable by sonars with the same or next lower frequency band. Thus, an active MF sonar could be detected by passive MF and LMF sonars, but not HF or LFs.
If you look at the screen,
Yada yada yada.
you have
Here's,
it. You have it actually.
Oh, I have it here.
Yeah,
oh,
so-
you know what? I missed it.
So I'm gonna make Tom. I'm gonna make Tom read.
Okay, I missed it totally. Okay,
Alright.
I remove it.
So, yeah, but you only get the active sonar. You only get the active sonar bonus if you have a sonar that can hear or detect.
Well, bonus. You basically for me you basically replace it because
Right, that's it.
And
It
I'm not
just
sure.
replaces
And
your
I'm not sure if you should need to use the signature modifier, because even if you use active sonar, okay, because
I think you only use the
Okay.
you only use the active
You
sonar.
only use the worst
no
out of all of it,
signature.
right? And that's the worst out of all
Yeah,
of it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
okay, because I thought you roll separately for detecting active sonar actually,
So
but
you
maybe,
might want to.
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to just even.
Yeah.
I don't even know if this
No.
is needed. I guess maybe even.
No, I will only remove the noise rating of +8. I will
Maybe
left probably the notation.
Do a parenthetical and say C target noise signature.
Yeah, right.
Like
I will do some
Yeah,
parenthetical that detectable by the same
so at this
and
point-
lower frequency. Okay.
So we're at neg
And
9.
I need to ask something. Okay, I calculated my chance. It's -9.
Yep.
Exactly.
And
Final
there's-
modifier.
So there's a
So I'm
significant
pretty
difference.
screwed. Yeah, because I have -9, so my detection range in
You're
this
at point,
situation, base range, the fifth, I have, what's my, but San Luis has passive range of 2.2 because we are looking at the 50% range, and my passive range is 3.3. So let's see, 3.3.
So you multiply. Hang on. You said that you're at minus how much again? -9.
Yep. And
So
I'm just looking at the table for 3.3.
Just hold on a second.
So you detect me at 0.33 of a nautical, at a third of a nautical mile away.
Let me catch up with y'all, if you don't mind.
That's your 50%.
Sorry.
That's your 50% detection range.
All right, so then you were neg 9, so you're 0.1. What is your base at 50%?
My base is 3.3, and
Okay,
now
hold on.
I see it's by the half, so I will need to make another sheet that calculates it.
Just hold on. And then what's the base
Right.
what's the base at 50 for the
2
San Luis?
point something. 2.2.
Okay, so let's. Okay. And I'm gonna need a calculator for this because I'm an idiot. Okay.
And
So-
it's 2.2, and I'm at minus.
Hold on.
I'm at minus
3
what?
You're at
I'm at -5, so that's 0.33.
33% here. And just bear with me.
Yeah. So I have 1/10 of it, so 0.33.
That's not. That's times. That's 60. That's not 2/3.
Wait. Okay, I'm sorry.
Hang on, unless it is no. You're right. It's 0.3. It's not 30. Yeah, it's 0.3.
Yeah, it's just 0.3 for me. 0.33 because because I multiply it by 0.1. So I can detect you with 10% chance at 1 mile.
Hang on, let me find that. Rotate clockwise. Probability of detection. Where is it? So you 50% is. Do you round up or down? Or do you run to the nearest?
You know what? The table, the sonar range and probability starts at 0.5. So. So I don't think the old person assistant base range.
Is that how it works for that? Let me see that.
I think it does. So
Okay,
yeah.
sorry, what me? Okay, start of detection, right? The target team is blah 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 blah. Okay.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just lost the
I'm checking.
modifiers. Can you all bring me back up to speed here?
No, it's okay. Well,
Okay, I just lost everything there. Okay, so you're at a 0.1 range modifier.
right.
This is the base range was 33, so I did that wrong. No, yeah, I did that wrong. Okay, these are not percentages.
These are not percent, no.
I'm sorry, that was my fault there.
No
0.3
problem.
times 0.1. So that's the 0.33 nautical mile for.
Okay, I need to see the example to see how it, if we do it correctly, because if we do, then
Okay, so these are proper calculations, correct?
yes.
Okay.
At least mine is.
I'm sorry.
At least mine is. I was only doing mine, but
Yeah,
I
I'm doing
believe the
both at the
second
same
one is
time.
correct also.
So you're 0.33 nautical miles for that. So then you are. I'm not looking at this right. Okay, walk me through this probability of detection table then, because I just lost it again. All right, so you got 0.33 nautical miles for 50% chance, right?
Right.
So that's in this bracket, correct?
No. Go above. Oh no, right. It's in this bracket. Yes.
Okay, I can explain to you how the table works if you like, the math behind it, because it might be better to do it that way.
Well, hold on. I mean, okay. So I took the base and multiplied it by
Right.
the modifier, and now the new detection for 50% is 0.33 nautical miles.
Exactly.
So that's between here and. So I don't.
No. Okay, no. So what you do is that is your probability of detection at 50%, right?
Right.
So what you do is you find the nearest, you round, and you find that you round to the nearest, right? So in this case, 0.33 nautical mile, the nearest in the 50% column is 0.5. So you use that one exactly.
Yes.
Right.
And so, and now what you look at is what is the distance to the target, right? So if the distance to the target is, say, 0.8 nautical miles, you use that road that you're in, you go to the 0.8, and that tells you your.
So we're beyond negligible.
So beyond 1 nautical mile, we can't detect each other pretty much.
Yeah, I mean the table rounds. We could actually do it using true values instead of rounded values. Which I think
so would San Luis on Splendid use that same modifier then, based on being 0.66?
Yeah, because you're closer to.
You just round it. You just do normal rounding. Okay.
Yeah, you just round it.
Again, there's varying different ways to round, right? So
In,
just the
standard. Multiply the base range by the this.
In reality, we wouldn't actually have to round, but percentage. Hang
so
on.
let me emphasize here. You have absolutely no chance of getting a detection on each other unless you're within a mile.
Basically, yeah.
If the modifiers remain the same.
Exactly.
So there is very little chance that you're going to hit each other. But hold on, let's go look then. Let's keep going. Okay, so we started. This is 24 minutes later. You said you were going to go 20. This is the problem is that I need to look at the tracks. Give me a second. Why am I not seeing tracks? I have them both on. Why am I not seeing them both? So I should see. Oh, maybe because you haven't even gone that far. Why is the tracks not? Oh, there they are. See how the this is good gravy. This is gonna take forever. If you stayed at this,
Yeah,
you realize how
basically
long
yes.
this would take?
That's why we probably should switch to intermediate turns, but we
Okay,
probably miss each other.
let's see what happens. Hold on.
Sure.
And how long were you gonna stay at that?
For an hour, so
Okay, where
to
you're gonna change. You're gonna change now. It's
by
not perfect.
180. Yeah.
I can undo that move. Hold on.
Eh,
Is that about right?
I think it will be
All right.
alright.
All right. So
Right.
let's
Yeah.
change this. So you're gonna go.
180. So
Mm,
235.
and you're
235.
staying. And let's say you're staying at
Yes,
3.
235, not 255, 235.
Wait a minute.
That's
Hold on.
the exact in my thinking.
What is your heading?
235.
Okay, there we go.
Exactly.
So you actually came back this way. I thought you were zigzagging this way.
No, I was
He's
moving.
zigzagging that way. He's doing
He's
that.
zigzagging.
Okay.
I am just moving in one place.
And I don't think you've been 20 nautical miles. You've been 5 nautical
The
miles.
the interesting thing is that the table makes you round, which is kind of weird when you get to the very low numbers, because
Yes,
if
exactly. That's exactly right.
if the table didn't make us round, then the San Luis
relative.
has a the San Luis should get has a 10% detection chance, and at 1 nautical mile, actually
Right.
1.028, whereas
Yes.
the Swifter should have a 10% detection chance at 0.594
Hold on.
of
Can
a
you repeat
nautical
that?
mile.
Can you repeat those numbers? 1 point. What
So
was?
1.028
Okay, that's for a 10%
for
chance.
the San Luis, for a 10% chance,
Okay.
and 0.594 for the Swifter.
Well, I'm not afraid to use math, right? I'm afraid to
You
understand
know,
it.
you know why it's probably irrelevant? Because we are playing 3-minute turns, and the amount of distance moved will make it pretty much. The distance at which you can detect me probably would change almost nothing, given how much ground we cover in one turn.
How much do we move in a 3-minute?
In 3 minutes, we move or maybe 3,000 yards, so 1 mile. We move 1 mile with some change in one 3-minute turn.
Okay, now hold on.
Just
hold on a second. Let's just do it with.
Wait.
So we are currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You all are never going to see each other.
It doesn't make a difference because we're gonna come up distance, but yeah.
Well, hold on. Let's just keep going. Let me just keep going.
Just keep going.
Okay, so we're at 4:39. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. You're getting tired. You're eating your eggs. Okay. And I don't think you've only been about 10 miles, San Luis. Okay. I'm just trying to mark that. You said you were going to change
at 3 knots. At 3 knots, he will do this in 3. He will move 9 miles in 3.
No, I'm just trying to increment through it to the point where he said he was going to turn. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm just looking at. Okay, he's only been 10 miles. So when he gets about right here, he's going to change and go this way. So he might run into you if you change yours. So let's go back and look at what you said, Tom, just to keep you honest.
Okay. I said with my what? Okay.
Hold on. I took it verbatim
here. 70.
No, I'm just moving. I basically move. Oh, okay. I think. Oh no, it should be 225, but whatever. I basically move. The pattern you see, I am repeating it. I basically move. I'm moving back and forth here. I just do my math in my head.
I think you're gonna run into each other right around here.
I made my math in my head wrong.
In my spatial thought here. Sorry.
Yeah, probably we'll run somewhere there. Can you draw 1 nautical mile circle around one of us?
Yeah, let's do that on both. Let's just put it on both, right?
0.9 exactly. 0.9 exactly. 0.9 circle.
put it on both? Or no, that'll do it.
No,
that'll
it's
work.
it's not
Yeah,
it's
damn,
not
sorry,
needed.
sorry, that's my fault.
If
All
one
right,
is
all right. So then keep an eye on this, Tom, and tell me when I need to change your course back. Okay?
well, basically now every two. Oh,
It hasn't been
you.
another hour, so
Okay, then no,
now we would. So you would
no, we
change
would
back.
end to
What are you changing
45.
to? 45. Okay.
Yes, because I'm moving back and forth, and
Okay.
I didn't move.
Okay. Let's just keep
I
going.
messed up math. Yeah, I keep going. So
Okay. At this point, we would probably turn you again. I don't know. I
yes,
think
if
we
it's
went a
1 hour,
little
then
too far the first time. That was
probably,
not my
but
fault. All right. So
whatever.
where are you at again? 225.
2 to 5, yes,
Okay.
because I did math
Okay. This is gonna take you
wrong.
exactly on each on it. You're planning on just doing
Yep,
this. Okay.
yep,
Okay.
that
So
was my plan.
we go one more. And then we turn you again.
We missed each other.
I think you are going
If
to
I
miss each
stay
other.
like that, if I moved in
If you
2
zigzag,
hours,
like if you actually did
if I
this and
either,
then
either zigzag or made the track of
hold
2
on,
hours.
we're almost there.
Okay.
Hold on.
So the lesson learned is like 80s subs and earlier are terrible at ASW.
Yeah.
Let's see. You're
I think
almost.
that's
Okay. So hold on. Look at this too. Hold on. There might be a chance, right? Because you're at 18.4. Let's keep an eye on that. Let's do one more increment, right?
Yeah, but he will
You are
move past
changing.
me.
Hold on. Let's do it for reals. Okay. So you're doing that again. Let's do this. You're not gonna. Okay. Let's do one more. Okay. Let's see how far you are. I'm pretty much there. At that point, you're gonna.
But you know what? It's not actually,
So
as I
he's
said,
gonna
my
go
only
225. Right.
yes, my only experience outside of that, the closest experience is the dangerous waters. But okay, because he moved. Oh, okay, I forgot that he used the time for
I told you.
Zig.
I told you.
Okay.
I'm
But I
really
think we
reasonable.
missed
I'm pretty good at
each
spatial
other
referencing.
by.
I don't know why. I'm horrible at math, but
No, I forgot he's doing zigzag. Okay.
so there you go.
And
Almost.
here we. Oh.
Okay, now hold on.
But
You're gonna parallel each other. Watch this.
Oh,
yeah.
it's gonna be cool.
Oh, that's awesome, actually. I'm really glad we did this. You literally watch this. Yep. You're never gonna see each other. That was as close as you were gonna get.
If we keep this station, no, never.
How close is that?
Well, we'll go through the playthrough here, but you're at 2.8 nautical miles here. If you both stayed creepy, if you both were creepy.
If we both were creeping, because what would happen if I? How would it change if
well, hold on. Let me. I tell you what. Let me just do a couple more turns. And then we can talk about what ifs. Hold on a second, because this basically is proving that you would not see each other, right? And I think you're gonna, if you keep on doing this.
But I will tell you, or already tell you that it's pretty consistent with what you could see in dangerous waters in some situations. Where I had situations in dangerous waters when you got. When you crept with Seawolf, even with Seawolf and with I believe with Los Angeles, you would detect creeping kilo diesel sub at 500 yards. and he would. I had this situation in this game when I detected him. He immediately detected me.
Let me
and
save
launched
this because this is awesome, actually.
Okay. and guy launched torpedo that came past me. It wasn't able to turn on me. He was so close that torpedo, while turning, passed me by and came somewhere into the ether. I wish I had options to record it then, because I just had the information. Oh, torpedo in the water. and I've seen this torpedo just zoom on the sonar from
All
one
right, so here's the whole
side
battle.
of the sonar to the other side of the sonar and disappear.
So watch this.
Crazy.
Here's the entire battle.
Entire battle.
No, it's playing. Creepy. Hold on. It'll speed up here in a minute, but
You seen this meme?
here you go. Here comes the fun part.
But I think the lesson learned here is that that moving slowly isn't actually that important, all things considered.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly. It's almost like you want to make a little. Okay, I know this is probably counterintuitive. It's almost like you want to make a little noise so that they come near you.
Maybe.
I mean, just a little bit of noise, not a lot of noise, so that they can't get.
No, but the point here is that you can actually, as a sub, you don't have to try to be sneaky with them. You can get from point A to point B relatively quickly
if you have
and
good
that's
sub.
what.
You
And
know,
here's the thing, that's what is called the speed and drift tactic, because usually you don't creep in one place, you move for like, let's say, half an hour at 15 knots or 20 knots, and then you coast to a creep in another place to listen for the targets. This is what is done usually. I was creeping like that because I was looking for moving loud
this was actually quite
carrier
fun.
group. I'm actually interested because I was thinking I am looking for a carrier group, and what actually would be my chance of detecting
Okay, let's talk about that, because that's a very good conversation.
That's a really good one.
It's a very good point. Let's talk about that,
because that would drive my. I bet they are loud between. I guess Ventincico de Mayo is loud target.
Okay, let's
you wouldn't hear the 25 de Mayo because you're looking for the escorts, because the escorts are going to be a few miles.
Which I have. Hold on, let's find the loudest escort.
But let's say how far I can detect him, because here's the thing with escorts. Are escorts loud too? If they are loud, then yes, I would look for escorts. Basically, loud target.
And let's look at the. Hold on one second. Let's look at the things get interesting, because I think it was the bug. Which will be the closest? The closest one is probably.
I will give you information if Vinticico de Mayo would move 20 knots, and I was.
They kept a good spread. They combined as a task group, but the Belgrano was the one that was closest to this action, I think. That's my interpretation of this, right? This is where we walked through it, and this was the rough formation. So the thought is that the Belgrano would be on the right flank here. So let's look at that group 793 Belgrano. Belgrano is probably one of the loudest of them.
I bet all of them are loud. All of them probably are loud. I have this feeling. Maybe escorts might be noisy.
P is noisy. God, now I gotta go look at the thing.
It actually changes a lot, because the difference between loud and noisy is +3.
Yep, let's go look at that though. Let's look at the Argentina. I just want to see who was with the Belgrano. I just don't remember it. Okay, so it's the Bouchard, which is the Fram 2, and I think Fram 2 is noisy. Yeah, Fram 2, it would be the Commodoro P. It's this it's that Fram.
So basically noisy or loud, correct?
The Bouchard is the Hippolito Bouchard. They're both Fram 2, so they're both noisy. So both escorts for Belgrano are noisy. So let's go look at that again. So what does noisy give me as far as a target noise signature?
+3.
Okay, so that's it though, right? What about
this gives you +3 and how fast they are moving. If they move 20 knots,
going 20
and
knots,
I am and I am creeping, it's another +2.
Okay.
And there is
shoot.
0 for signature modifier.
So signature modifier 0. Sea state was still -2. Shallow water still -2. Is this correct as well, or no?
Yeah, I calculated +1 total, unless they use active sonars.
Do you get
Come on, let's go through
Because
these each again. Sea state -2, still remains in, still would remain in
yes,
play. Shallow water
yeah.
modifier
also
stays in play.
also
Target noise signature modifier.
And if you
Target
are,
is
if you're
cavitating,
moving,
by the way.
how
right.
Okay, so
are they
relative.
Right, they are cavitating definitely.
So the relative speed modifier, then they're going 20. You're going creepy. Okay, so +2. So that's okay. So that's 7, 8, 9 minus
Wait,
4.
at 20,
So
yes,
five.
noisy are definitely
So you have 5,
cavitating.
which is, let me try to get through it. So 5 gets you a multiplier of times 4. So times 4, and your base is 3, so that's 12.3 nautical miles for a 50% chance.
13 the 0.2, so I believe it's 13. So my 10% chance detection from what I'm looking at is 23.4 miles.
wait, where?
So then it's how much for a 10% chance?
23.4.
Or a 10% chance. Man, that's even rough. That's even rough. So then, so
But
how
wait,
did anybody
I
find?
want to check.
How did any subs find a surface contact? They had to have surfaced and used ESM.
Maybe some info.
Right? I mean, am I inferring incorrectly there? That, I mean, in order to be able to get 23.4 nautical miles, maybe you have the rough
But
idea.
here's the thing. What you kind of neglect maybe. Looking for a loud target is +8. +8 multiplies it by 7.
Hold on.
So 23
Wait, where do you get that from? Well, I got
+3. Loud contact is not +3, it's +6.
Yeah, but there's very like that's only like the. Actually, no. They're a lot, aren't
no,
they?
they're noisy. The Fram 2s are noisy. But then
I'm talking about Belgrano for, let's say.
oh,
I'm now calculating what's the difference, because
hold on.
Belgrano I can find.
Yeah, loud.
That's
okay.
Yeah,
loud.
Let's step back. Hold
basically
on.
seeing
You're
is
right.
like these subs were probably using their periscopes to find things the old-fashioned way, like actually.
Yes, that may be.
So this is 6.
But
So
I was just interested how let's say far you need to put
12
your
minus 4.
escorts to be actually heard before the Belgrano, because I got +8. This is
Yeah,
multiplied
right.
by
So
7.
multiplier. Hold on. Let me
And from what
catch
I
up.
see, it's 23. You can calculate, but I calculated is
20.
23.1. So I believe I am rounding it up to 24 on the table, because we have entry for 22 and then 24.
Well,
And this is 10% detection rating of 43.2 nautical miles. So you would need to put, looking at this difference, you would need to put your escorts 20 miles ahead of,
you would want
if
to
they
keep
are
them
to
that
be detected
right,
first.
and you would want to keep them. You would want that to happen because you want them to be attracted. You want the sub to be
Yes.
attracted to the escorts because you don't want the
Yes,
high value.
but here's the
unit
thing. If the sub detects escorts, I don't know what's the chance of detecting escorts detecting the sub. If you detect the escort and estimate where escort is moving, you can make a dash for where you think the large guys are.
Right.
If I was positioning escorts, I would only position them in such a way that I knew I could spot that I knew I could spot the submarine before the submarine could spot the.
Yes, but here's the thing: escorts, depending on what systems you have, the escorts probably have even harder time finding the sub than sub finding the escorts by much.
Let's have a look. What did, like what kind of sonar do they have equipped?
For which one?
Active or active?
For which one? Like Belgrano, or for Belgrano doesn't even
Yeah,
have
yeah,
one.
yeah. No, but the
Fram
frigates
2's
escorting
the Fram
Belgrano.
2's got them right here. Let's
Okay,
zoom
what
in
is
here real quick. They have a passive is horrible. They have an SQS 23.
Oh,
These are really
in
old.
that case, I would probably be firing my active left, right, and center.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right.
probably.
Yeah, right. And you
But
want to
it-
that? I mean, that's. I mean, I mean, you don't want to play around with.
But here's the thing. One thing I will note to you, even if it is active, it's medium frequency sonar. So if I go below layer, they get -5
Right.
from the start. So -5 is
That particular sonar is shite.
Yeah, it
To be
is.
part of
yes.
And
And
it's an
if I
old Fram
move,
2s are
if
old.
they move, let's say, yeah, it's offset. I could move 30 knots pretty much, and
And they
this
won't
would
get you.
offset my speed modifier.
Right. At best, or at worst, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Even if they creep. So
For a second.
that's what.
Because actually, the layer may not be all that bad. Because let's have a look for a second.
Yes.
Punch it into the table.
I'm sorry. Which one are we? We're looking at the.
So an active sonar of 4.4.
Okay.
You want to look
against
at
the Swiftsure class. Never remember the name of the boat.
what Splendid.
Yeah, there we
You
go.
want to look at this. Hold on. Yes. And you want to look at this. What are you trying to look for? What information do you need?
Okay. No. So we need its signature is small. Okay, so it's a small. That's all we need to know. Its signature, and it doesn't have any chaotic, or how would you pronounce it, plating.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Coating. So
Anachroic. Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
And then, do you have
Which sheet?
active sonar in the table and the cheat sheet, or is it just?
No, unfortunately, I
yeah.
only made cheat sheet for passive sonar.
Okay, that's fine.
But we
okay.
can. I mean, just here. Let's go to.
But the layer modifier is for both of them, I believe.
Here,
let
we
me.
can do
Yeah.
that.
Well.
We can look at that.
Yeah. The layer
Right
modifier.
here.
Okay. In that case, let me
Look right here.
get it. Oh, yeah, you've got it. Okay, so in that case, for active, we've got it's small, so we get +1. Narrow aspect. I mean, if we assume narrow aspect, because
Let's
I think so.
assume the worst possible scenario where aspect is not narrow. For the submarine.
Yeah, that's what I said. Narrow aspect. That's the worst scenario.
Okay, so broad.
No. So
I mean the worst. I mean the worst for the sub.
the worst for the sub.
So it would
Okay,
be
yeah. In
this.
that case, that's broad. And the
Wait.
relative speed. How fast would this? How fast would the?
Submarine, 20 knots probably.
Yeah.
Are we doing this as?
How fast can I?
Which way are we doing this?
30. I actually can move 30 knots, but I don't believe I would move faster than 25.
You want to see what's the worst situation for the sub?
Okay.
So that would be.
Then 30 knots.
Hang on. So realistically, let's say that the sub is moving at 8 knots because it doesn't want to move any faster because then it starts to take penalties for spotting.
And the contact
Actually, you know what I would look for the speed at which the fastest speed at which I don't cavitate, because the surface modifier is negligible.
Here, then.
So if I am quiet and I am at the intermediate 1 depth, because this was the deepest I can go, right? Then I can move 25, I believe. Oh no, sorry, 20.
Okay. So you want to move 20? Yeah. So you're moving 20, and we're moving 9 to 15.
Oh no,
so
wait. Let me ask you a question. This is the depth at which you start to cavitate in the table, or is it the depth at which the cavitation speed? This was the safest depth at which you can, or this is the depth at which you start to cavitate?
Where's the table?
Where is that table?
That table is in the rule book or on my.
Here it is, right here. I got it.
If you
It's
can
right
check it, because I actually.
This is the point at which you cavitate.
Yeah.
If you're
so you're yeah. So,
Okay, so I can. So at intermediate one. So I would need to move 20 knots if I move at intermediate one, correct?
Correct.
Because quiet sub, okay.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah. So you're moving at 20 knots. Then let's say that you're moving at 20 knots. Let's say that the escorts are moving at like the whole thing is moving at 9 to 15 knots. That seems. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, we had given it 20 knots. It's probably excessive, but we had given it 20 knots.
Yeah. Oh, okay, now that's fine. Then you can do 16 to 20 knots.
Let's
So
say they probably escorts will probably make dash and then slow down a little or a lot to check.
Do ASW, yeah.
16 to 20. So that's not a bonus on either way.
Right.
Plus one. That's plus one. That's not much.
No.
Oh no, sorry. It is relative speed. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong table. Sorry.
Plus one for broad aspect, minus one for small. So that's plus 2 total so far. Minus 3 for environmental modifiers. The sea state is 5, so that's minus 3. So we're at minus 1. We are a shallow. Did we say it's a high frequency or medium high frequency for the
medium? It's only medium frequency.
That's the best one, I think.
Okay, so that's now minus.
Okay, best one.
Then
did I mark all these right?
Yeah. Shallow layer. The sonar is above the layer. You're below, so that's minus 5. So then that's minus 8. That's 0.15 of 4.4. That's 4.4 times 0.15. So that that gives you a beautiful 50% detection of 0.66 nautical miles. So the same as the what's its face? The same as the San Luis, actually. Meaning you have to get within 1 nautical mile of them for them to even have a chance of finding you.
But here's the thing. If I would move at maximum speed of 20 knots, here's the thing. If I am moving at max speed of 20 knots, I would need risk to cavitate in order to get into the firing position. Because if I only move 20 knots and the battle group is moving 20 knots, I can't catch them up. If I am not in front of them and enough in front of them when I detect them to move in their path of movement, I am not able to intercept them either way.
What's the penalty for cavitating?
+4.
Okay, so let's
and again +4, and I can move. Okay.
Maximum speed. What's your maximum speed? Let's assume you're
30 knots. 30 knots is my maximum speed.
You're going 30 knots, cavitating like a madman, right? So we start with -3 plus cavitating, so 4. Okay. So we are at +1.
Yes, and search and speed.
The structure is at 16 to 20 knots.
Here's the thing, though.
You're moving
Wait a minute.
30, so we get +1.
We're talking active at this point, aren't we?
No. We want. Okay, so if you're active, then active has a maximum range of about a nautical mile.
Right.
So now we're talking passive. What happens if he's going full blast?
Okay, so the ship's sonars are.
So we're now using its passive sonar. So then you do get a +2 because you're going at. Sorry, +1 because you're going at 30. -2 for sea state. There's no traffic. There's no rain modifier. Is it a which one's the passive? Is it a medium?
For which?
For the escorts for the Belgrano. Which what
size?
frequency?
I believe Most of them are medium
Hold on a second.
frequency.
Belgrano doesn't have one.
No, Belgrano.
Yeah, MF for the.
So they're medium. They're medium frequency. Cool. So they're medium frequency, and you're below the layer, right?
Right. If
Yeah,
I can.
You would. Hang on. I missed the thing. So that's -3 plus 4 plus 1 minus 2. Humidifier is -2. Medium frequency is -2. Layer is -5. So actually, you still end up with -7.
So what do we take from all that? I mean, it's the fact that you need to get very damn close.
Yeah. So the 50%. Hang on. Let me. So the 50% for okay, best case scenario for the escorts, right? Assuming the submarine is broad, it's obviously it's below the layer, so it's not best case scenario, but that's where the submarine would be. But let's assume that the submarine is below the layer, it's broad, it's cavitating, it's moving as fast as it can, it's doing everything short of using active sonar, which doesn't make sense for the sub to do. Right?
Right.
You're going to have a 50% chance of
and that's why they would use their trackers, right? That's why they would use their ASW helos.
You're going to have a 50% chance that rounds up to 1 nautical mile. So the sub has to get within 1.8 of you.
So did the
in order for you to be effective with active, 1.8 nautical miles gives you a 10% detection chance.
The one thing is whether or not.
But look now how. But look now how it is affected by the fact that escorts have medium frequency sonars in environment where there is a layer.
I factored that in. That's what makes.
Yeah, I know. I'm just telling you how much these factors, how much this changes the situation. Because if there will no layer or they have sonar that can penetrate the layer, it changes drastically, right?
No, absolutely, yeah. So it goes from 0.15 to you lose 5. It goes to 2, so 0.6. 0.6 times 4. No, we said we're at 8. Assuming this is assuming you're moving at 30 knots, by the way, so you're trying to catch up.
Yes, the fastest I can go, right? And cavitating because there is not enough depth where I can hide.
Okay, that's 0.2 times. Hang on, so that's 2. So that's 0.6. So 0.6 times 4 times 4. Cool. Okay, so 2.64. 2.64 divided by 10 times 8 plus 2.64. Okay, so 10% detection chance with active radar at that point is 4.752 nautical miles. 4.7 nautical miles.
That's
10% detection chance.
And that's reasonable.
Active.
But they would also radiate their Sea Kings, right? That's what I wanted to point out, is that
yes,
the
they would use helicopters too, right? And
this is if there was no layer. If there is a layer, then it's only 1 nautical mile for 10% detection range.
Yeah, but environment actually and low.
If there was
shallow waters also doesn't help.
Modern, if there was a layer, but it is a modern system where you now have very low, so where you have low frequency radar, or it was a submarine essentially, you would be looking at the same sort of 4.7, 10% detection rate. But even then, you should be able to see them longer than that. So
well, that's the thing. You're going to come to periscope death. You're going to risk yourself. You have to.
But now another thing, because these are guys with the sonars. But if I suddenly dash San Luis, at what distance San Luis detects me with its passive sonar?
If you were dashing? If you had been
if I
dashing
were,
throughout this,
yeah, if I have been dashing, I decide to dash, then how ARA
and
San Luis would find
the
me?
assumption is that you're doing that in order to get closer to the task group, which is probably over
Yes,
here,
exactly,
and you probably would have done that,
exactly.
but you probably would have done that on this leg, and then I don't know. So what is the difference
And
there? Really, the only difference is relative speed at that point. So you're
well,
not
and
you're not
cavitation.
cavitating, are you? Oh, you're gonna
Yeah,
cavitate.
I am. I am
Okay.
totally cavitating
Okay, so
with
that's
this.
plus
I,
four.
And let's say they creep, and I decided to dash for target because I got some
Well, there
great
would.
news and
It depends
information.
on
It
when
would
you.
be +5.
It depends on when you started to do that.
Yes, I
If
know.
you started to do that more towards right here when he was right here,
I would
you
have
might
totally
have.
seen you if you were navigating.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, in this situation, he would find me.
Right about
From
here.
what I see, it would be +5. So he's
Let's just let's just round all that out. I mean, he if San Luis was coming in this direction and you cavitated in this direction while he was, what do we think? I mean, it's still maybe when he was right here if you happen to be here. Yeah, I mean, I think right around here he would.
if I just moved, I'm looking what would be the because if I in these environmental conditions, if I suddenly find myself needed to sprint or get out of there, it would be +5 from what I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing.
Mm-hmm.
It's
But it's still, again,
times multiplication of his range times 4. He has
he has
2.2,
2.2,
correct?
so yeah, we're still talking 8 nautical miles or so, which is again,
8, 9.
he
Yeah,
he would have
probably not.
he would have detected you if you had been doing it while he was within this
Yeah.
arc.
But
So if
the problem why I might not do this very often or for a long time, I'm blind at 30 plus.
right, so
I can't hear
at best
anything.
he would have detected you, but then
He would
you would
detect
have been
me.
undetected again.
Yeah, but he
So,
would know where to look at me. Yeah,
yes,
that's
exactly.
why the submarine
He would have
combat is
changed.
very.
San Luis would have changed course. You're like,
Absolutely.
okay, so let's just walk through that. Let's talk through that. So if right around here you were going this direction and you were cavitating and going as fast as you could,
Yes,
he
like
probably would have
crazy.
detected you right around here. But you wouldn't have been doing that constantly. You would have stopped. You wouldn't have known he's there necessarily. You definitely wouldn't have.
No.
He would have detected you. He would have turned more than likely in this general arc.
Yeah.
And if you did it again, yeah, he probably would have gotten you. But would San Luis have had enough of detection over enough of a period of time to have obtained a significant fire solution?
That's
I
yeah.
guess this is the question as to why as to why there's only been like one case of a submarine sinking another submarine in real combat.
I think we're seeing
Yeah,
it right here.
but it's very interesting how many. It's very interesting how many you have. How many
Now,
incidents there were where submarines actually hit each other.
right.
Yes.
So if we were in a, if we were closer to, the task group, the escort task group, and if you had cavitated and you have fired your torpedoes and you have turned course and made a lot of noise getting away from where you were, there's a higher chance at that point. So really, I
Yeah.
think
But even
the
it's
highest
not
chance
very
of
good.
sub on sub is if one of the subs is actively combating another service unit. That's the
Or
way
if
I
you
look at
know,
it.
I guess the other possibility, right, is that is if you have a sub and the sub gets detected by something else, then maybe you could direct an allied sub to that location.
That's exactly how it probably works in reality.
Yeah.
Something else, and that's what Chris was emphasizing in
How,
my
how, how did you get your first detection?
it's it's well, in the case where he was kind of talking through it, SOSIS or
Yes,
some other source
other souls need to point you
has to point
where to
you,
look.
and then it's not really, they're not going to direct another sub towards it. They're going to direct an air unit or an
Yes,
ASW helicopter to go plunk down as many buoys right around it as possible and start
Yeah,
creeping
because
in on him.
it's very interesting because when I play
So this is a
when I
very
play
unlikely scenario. Let's just say that in general.
very, but you know what, this is something that
I'm gonna play through it one more time before I stop. I have
this
to
is
stop.
something that when I played many simulations, different simulations, it is the problem how to employ submarines against task groups because it's so hard to get into position and find anything,
You have to
especially
visibly do it. I don't see
Yeah,
how
yeah.
the British units could have not. They, I have.
yet
I
they
want to try
did.
to find evidence of it because, I mean, then okay. So let's talk about how did Conqueror
Well,
I need to
how
check.
did Conqueror detect Belgrano, and how did it
I don't
stay?
know.
How
This is
did
the
it
thing. I don't
stay
know.
in contact at far enough of a
I will.
distance? They
You know
had to have.
what?
I think they had to
Think
visualize it.
that
well, here,
exactly. And here's the thing I need to check: the
because
distance.
um,
The visual detection from periscope because they actually photographed Belgrano, right?
Right. Well, after they hit it,
Let
yeah.
Belgrano is Belgrano. Let me check the visual detection of
I actually need to. I
periscope.
need to end pretty soon here. Sorry, but
Yeah, me too. But yeah,
So
so
let me.
we will discuss it later and
Yeah.
create some situation where we
Again,
can. I
let
can
me
find
play
it.
through this one more time for hilarity's sake. Hold on a second. So
So
that's about. This is
close.
as close as they get.
You know what?
I think
This is the reason why I would love to create a few scenarios where you need to shadow like boomer submarines or something like that
Hmm.
because you heard about this, you hear about or read about this occurrences where the boomers were shadowed by attack submarines, but when you get to the simulation, you actually don't know how they did
Yeah,
that because
exactly.
they needed to be. Well,
it's
that's probably the reason why they
kind of like
were
doing
laying and waiting at the entrance to the
All right,
port, right?
I need to go. So
all right.
I'm gonna stop. But
Okay.
thank you all very much for taking
Yeah,
part.
thank
I
you.
think it was very entertaining
It
and
was great.
educational. I think.
Very interesting.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
See you later.
See you later.